some of my best friends who were from University of Missouri, and we graduated together, and they've been very active in Missouri. We were living in Maryland, and it's kind of hard to keep up in Maryland other than maybe getting in for one or two football games. And they really got me involved in the Jefferson Club initially. And then Sue Mills, I'll have to give her a lot of credit. She continued to make a tremendous amount of contact with us. And when the Chancellor's Fund started, we had set up a scholarship fund, an unrestricted scholarship fund. So she made contact with us, and the rest really is history, as they say. She asked us if we'd be willing to move those funds to the Chancellor's Fund, and we were more than willing to do that. Matter of fact, we really liked the idea of giving the Chancellor and the university flexibility with those dollars. Sometimes you do that without even realizing it, and it's a lot easier when you're talking to someone who's been to the University of Missouri and they know the values of the university and how important the university's been to their life, and so it's pretty easy in a lot of respects. And sometimes, just like the person you're talking about, sometimes you don't even realize the impact maybe you had at some point. Honestly, I have to give my close friends, my best friends, credit for getting me involved. They got me involved, or got my wife and I both involved. We both graduated from the University of Missouri, but they got us involved in actually joining the Jefferson Club and becoming initially a sustaining member. And then I would have to give just a lot of credit to the university. I love my time here, and I have always wanted to give back. I do think you sort of need somebody to give you that little push, no matter how strongly you feel about it. I mean, my wife and I both felt strongly about it, wanted to give back, but without some close friends maybe push it a little bit, it would have been something that, still I probably wouldn't be talking to you today. It would go back, it would go back probably 10, 12 years, that would be my guess.
And how is this, how's your relationship changed with MU? Or, what are you receiving, after you give? Is it like that type of thing, receive as you give?
I think to a certain degree that happened when we became members of the Jefferson Club. For me, when it really happened, probably even took it up to another level, was when I went on the Board of Trustees. Because we didn't have an opportunity to come back very often, and matter of fact, we'd come back very rarely, and usually it was for a football game, so the whole weekend is pretty full of activities. And when you get back involved on campus, you just fall back in love with the university, and you just want to do more and more, both from the standpoint of financial support, but also from the standpoint of hopefully what you're just giving back as far as your time and efforts. I guess the one thing I mentioned, Sue Mills, but those stewardship activities, I would have to say, also have played a critical role. You felt appreciated. And I think the other thing is when you realize, when you get back and get involved, and you realize how important those funds are to the university, and you realize how much of a cutback we're getting as far as the state support and how critical that is, it makes you want to do more.